Welcome to Smoky Ribs. I'm Russ Jones. This is episode 5 in my beginner series, and today we're talking about drum smokers, all about drum smokers. Going to show you how to set it up. We're going to show you the results of what we're cooking. Once again, this is not about the recipe. This is all about the smoker. For any of you that are new to drum smokers, this will be a good way to kind of get a first-hand look at them and how they work. This is a gateway drum, and there are many makes, different people that make these. These are actually fabricated. This is all brand new material. It's not any kind of second-hand drum or anything like that. Walk around here and I'll show you basically what we got. All right, now this is a lower vent. If you'll follow that pipe down, you'll see it going to the bottom of the pit. There's another one just like it over here. And this is how you dial in your temperatures. That's for your intake. Now this particular one, this does not come with this smoker. This is an add-on. This is to where you can put a fan controller right in here and let the fan control your pit. Now up top you got your top vent. So in combination between these two vents and this top vent is how you'll dial in your temperatures. So a drum smoker, they're kind of known for cooking things pretty fast, and the reason being they love to hang around 275 to 300 very easily. They can achieve lower temps, but they love that 275 300, more of a hot and fast type setup. Now with this set, a lot of people love to take and get their own drum, and they buy these aftermarket kits and build these themselves at a fraction of the cost from what something like this would cost, you know, buying it straight out from a manufacturer. This is a lot of capacity, and this is what was left from my last cook. All I did was knock the ash out. It's got a ash pan right here that makes it very easy just to pull this out. You got all your ash there that you can clean it out. So we're going to be topping this off for today's cook, and I don't never worry about getting too many charcoal, because as you see, when it's all said and done, you can shut down your vents and it snuffs out the fire, and you have charcoal for the next cook. So while I'm right here with it, I might as well go ahead and top it off. I typically burn lump charcoal in these. You can use charcoal briquettes as well. Now one thing you'll notice about a drum smoker, if you ever get one, is that you get a lot of mileage out of a basket. I have actually filled one of these up before and was able to get 3 cooks on the same load without ever adding any additional charcoal. And kind of similar to a Kamado, really, with the efficiency. It's really, really impressive. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take this. Put it right here in the bottom. Momentarily, I'm gonna take a couple of fire starters. And with that said, some people put fire starters underneath where the ash catcher is, and they build their fire that way. I personally like to put them on top and let it just slowly burn down and out. That's the way I've always done it, and it works very good that way. Now also, you got a thermometer here, and I do rely on this quite a bit, because once you learn this pit, then you know exactly where you're at. This dial, even if it's off from what you're reading on a digital thermometer, you learn to know how it runs at a certain setting. So I depend on that quite a bit. Matter of fact, in today's cook, I won't even be using an external thermometer, a digital thermometer. It's just a chicken, and I don't probe it usually because it's a kind of a hot and fast cook. What I will do is periodically look at it, and I'll take an instant read thermometer and just check my internal temp. But with that said, look right here. This is an add-on. These normally typically do not come with a probe port. I actually drilled this out. This little 1/8 inch grommet works perfect. You can feed a probe in, then feed a second probe in, no problem, with a very little small hole. All right, so a while back I purchased this propane torch here. This is very long and it reaches all the way down in the bottom of this. As you can see right here, it's ideal for lighting these fire starters. So I've got 2 of the tumbleweeds. We're just going to toss them right in the middle. All right, so I'm gonna take and open these side vents wide open, and this one over here. It's gonna take roughly 10-15 minutes to get this fire established and going good. And once we get to that point, I'll bring you back and show you what's next. So while I'm letting this heat up, let me talk about basically how this thing works. And what you got is this cylinder shaped barrel, which creates a cylindrical type of motion with the air, more of a vortex, and that creates quite a bit of convection in here, and that's why it makes such a good smoker. You got good hot air moving over this food in all directions, so you get browning on the bottom, you get it on the sides, you get it on the top. And a lot of people will take and actually hang meat from this, and I do have a hanger for this as well. I can hang up to 16 racks of ribs with the hanger system. Now all these are options. If you buy one like I did, everything you add to this you have to pay for in addition. And I think that's why the kits are so popular, because you can get it, like I said earlier, at a fraction of the cost. So this is looking good. Maybe about another 5 minutes, and we're going to go ahead and add some smoke wood to this, and we're going to start adding all the other things into this pit, and I'm going to bring you back at that point. All right, we got it going pretty good. So what I've got here is just some small chunks of pecan, not a whole lot. It's just a single chicken. We're just going to lay these around here sporadically. Put some right in the middle to begin with. Let those heat up. So I laid these sporadically around. I've got a few right there on top of the fire. They'll light up here momentarily. But what I'm going to do now is show you this diffuser plate. And where this really shines is if you are using both racks, because it helps even out the heat from the top to the bottom. And it goes in there just like that. But I like to use it even with one single grate, and that's what we're doing now. These are stainless steel grates, so they clean up really nice. All right, so I put my lid on. I've got my top vent just at about halfway. I'm wanting about 325 degrees out of this today, so I'm going to crack these open about 1/4 of an inch on both sides. And we're going to watch our dial. When I get in that neighborhood, I might have to tweak those a little to achieve at that exact temperature that I'm wanting. And once these are dialed in, they really hold excellent. They hold very well. And the biggest problem I've noticed with the drum smoker is when you have to remove the lid to check on something, it will spike in temperature. Takes a little while to get back down in the range that you're cooking at, but it's never affected any cooks. But it does happen every time. As long as you keep that lid on there, it'll hold. Right now I'm holding about 250, but we're coming up, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this chicken on. Go ahead and put my lid right here. Now I've got this on one of these little, they call them chicken racks, and we're going on. This chicken, I bought this already stuffed with a boudin. It's already been seasoned. I haven't had to do anything. The only thing I might do here in just a little bit is, as it's cooking, is baste it with butter from time to time to kind of get that skin crispy and enhance, you know, the overall color of it and flavor. So we'll be doing that. Let's put a lid on it for right now. Who would like to see me debone and stuff my own chicken from scratch? Show you how to do that. Like I said, this one's store-bought piece of cake. You buy it, you put it on here, end of story. I want to do my own. I want to show you how to debone the chicken. I want to stuff it with like a shrimp and crawfish, jambalaya, or something along those lines. Leave it in the comments if you'd like to see that on an upcoming video. All right, now I have checked on this one time and I basted it with butter. That's been probably 20-25 minutes ago. Let's take a quick look and see how she's looking here. All right, so I'm gonna do a real quick temperature check here, just see how we're doing. Oh yeah, that skin's already starting to get a little crisp on it. That's what that butter does. Oh yeah, we got a long way to go. 75 internal. We're wanting to bring this up to 165 internal, so we got a little ways to go. Let's go ahead and baste it with some butter. That butter really helps to crisp up the skin, plus it gives it a really nice color, plus it tastes good. Now I'm going to periodically come back in here and do this every time I check on it. That looks good. Try not to keep this open no more than you have to. Let's take a look. I have a feeling we're real close. All right, let's take an internal temperature on this and see what we're looking like. I'm at 172. That's at 191. Oh yeah, we're done. Man, that is super tender. All right, I don't want to poke a bunch of holes in it. Look at that. That just looks fantastic. By the way, this is the boudin, and it's stuffed all the way in this. The entire carcass has been removed, so that's nothing but meat, skin, and boudin in there. Now, they did leave the bones in the wings, but not in the legs. All right, we're getting ready to pull this off of here. All right, we have been resting about 10 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and cut into this bad boy. I know it's still piping hot, but we should be good. Like I said earlier, that is the actual stuffing where it's coming out at the end of the cavity. Oh man, look how tender this is. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That just looks incredible. All right, I'm just going to take my fingers here and try a little bit of this. Oh, that's got a really good seasoning. Perfect amount of smoke. I mean, it's just ideal. The crispy on the skin is, you can almost hear that. It's got a nice crispy skin. That's from the butter we added. But hey, there again, this is not about this cook, even though I'm really pleased with it. It's all about this smoker. And you can see the fantastic results that you get from a drum smoker. I highly recommend, if you're really into smoking meats, you need a drum smoker. Sometimes they're referred to as an ugly drum smoker. Look into kits, look into buying one, look into whatever you want to do. You know, you can save some money by doing it yourself. Plus, it's a fun thing to do. I purchased this one because it was ready to go. I bought the accessories for it and things like we talked about earlier. But you're going to love the results on this. And cooking time, what did this take? About 2.5 hours, y'all think? Something like that? Which is about average for chicken. I have, you know, spent as long as 3 hours on them. So they do cook a little hotter, but they're completely adjustable with the lower vents and the upper vents, just like any other smoker. We've talked about this on previous videos. You've got that ventilation, and that's how you dial in your temps. It just transfers from one smoker to the next. Now next week we're going to roll out the offset. I'm going to show you fire management on the offset, and we'll have some sort of protein going on that as well. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope you got something from it. Until next time, smoke your ribs.